Hi, my name is Katrina Flexbarth. I did my project on AI in education, higher education specifically, and specifically over Cogni Virtual Learning Assistant, which I'll be going over shortly. Um, Artificial intelligence in higher education is becoming more common. It's a newer technology, but as someone who works in higher education, this interested me because I like to keep ahead of the curve for my institution. And I think a lot of other people like to do that too in higher education, right? They always want to be ahead of the curve to attract students or things like that. However, I think one of the hard points is wondering how to start implementing AI in their institution. A lot of people may be reluctant to just go all in to a smart campus, so they might want to kind of dip their toes in something specific, like a little trial run, um, sort of like how UNT did with Canvas, where it just started with a few classes using it. The same could be done with Cogni, which is what I'll talk about in higher education institutions who are curious about AI, but not ready to make the full-blown commitment. They can just do it with a few classes and then go from there. So Cogni is an artificial intelligence-based educational technology. Specifically, there's a virtual lab assistant. And on the next slide, I have a video, but I'll just say a little about it. It provides immediate scoring for students, and it's kind of like a chat thing where it's like open-ended questions, they get responses. So it's like a personalized tutor for students, and also it's nice because the educators get access to view data from how students have interacted with it, and they can replay the interactions. Um, on this slide, there is a video. It's 6 minutes long, so I won't play it, but I'll link it in my thread. But it just kind of goes over what the virtual learning assistant is like. Please don't play. Okay, it's not. The advantages and disadvantages. So advantages are of AI in higher education is it provides a personalized learning and tutoring experience for each student, which in turn, a lot of studies have shown that students have found it helpful and that they gain more from it. So they have a better educational experience, and this also some studies have shown that there's better retention among schools that have used these kind of programs, when these resources are available to them. The disadvantages, of course, are cost of AI software. Cost of anything really would be a concern for higher education. Ethics concerning data. A lot of AI programs do take data from students. And that's how they make their assessments and suggestions on improvement and stuff like that. And fear of being replaced by teachers. AI poses a fear of being replaced by not only faculty and staff, but on a wide scale for people in the nation. Implementing Cogni. So this instructional unit would be geared towards faculty or even admins if they want to see how it works and how to implement Cogni into their courses. It will be given over Canvas or another learning management system that's specific to the university, where the instructor, facilitator of the training would make Canvas modules specific for it. There's 4 learning objectives there. I'll go over each of them now, and the time frame would be about 90 minutes. So the first one would to go over the Cogni mission information, so the demo video that I just showed earlier, and then field initial questions. Next, they'll learn how to integrate Cogni into their course. So they'll either get a step-by-step video or paper guide that shows how to integrate the virtual assistant into their course, and they can follow along step by step. If it's in person, you can field questions again. If not, there's we'll provide an email, or in the Canvas course, an ability to have questions asked. Next would be how to understand how Cogni will work for the students, which I think is important because if students ask questions to their instructor about how do I do this or how do I do that, it's important for the instructor to be familiar with what they're going to see. So in this case, there would be another Canvas course created specifically for this, where they can go through an assessment and then just kind of interact with the virtual assistant as if they were a student. The last thing would be surveying, and this is how they can track data of how it's worked. There's an activity there that has a survey that they can give to their students at the end of the semester just to see how it went, to get their feedback, to see if it's worth the time or if they want to continue using it or expanding upon it. And